Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is another edition of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, and this is a brand new Bronco. And if you saw anything from SEMA, you know this is the hottest thing in the industry. And everybody wants to take the top off, Fred, once they get one of these, just like they do in the Jeeps. It can be a real hassle. This is about 100 pounds on the Bronco.
Correct.
So getting topless is not so simple,
right.
But you have a solution, the same one you did for the Jeeps.
Absolutely. So going topless in 2 minutes or less, just like this one. So this one operates through body weight using a lever system upper.
And that's the original Top Lift Pro.
Correct.
You also have an upgrade to that, which is a motor.
You can add electric to this, and you can just, with the press of a button, take the top off.
It's usually a two-person operation, but with one finger you can remove it yourself. And what about storage? Where does the top go once you take it off?
So it'll store right in front of your Jeep or your Bronco, right over the hood. It's a great savings of space.
Uses the same footprint that your vehicle does.
Yes.
Now, a lot of folks have talked to you saying they're going to go to their vacation home, and yes, you can take the original Top Lift Pro with you, but it takes up some space, so
Correct.
You came up with a solution here. What's that?
We have the Venture Pro here. This one is just a collapsible version. It'll break down very easily. Everything's foldable up top, everything's foldable down below, and we take a couple of parts in between off, and then you go. But as you can see, everything you can just pop into place when you're going into the vehicle to take the top off. Unlike the original, with your hands, this one is a foot pedal design, and it has a 5-to-1 ratio for lifting capacity. So it's great for lightweight people to go ahead and lift a heavy object off their Jeep or Bronco.
20 pounds of pressure gets that Bronco top right off.
Yep.
Some math right there. Let's talk about adjustability, because every Jeep's different. People put different suspension and tires and wheels on it and everything
Correct.
like that. So how do you adjust it?
Simply enough, all you have to do is pull your pin, raise it up, lower it according to your wheel suspension height, and then once you enter the vehicle, then you can put your adjusting feet and prop them up according to where your roof height is, and then you can start to lift from that position.
You pull the cable there, that
Pull the
unlatches
pin.
it. Oh man, that's simple. 100 pounds lifted like nothing. Very cool. And you whip that around to the front, you can store it in the garage.
And that's it. And we're also using the top to hold our large panel on a Bronco, because you don't want to move around that too much. You know, they become delicate if you fracture it or anything.
Sure. Yeah, so taking care of two birds with one stone right there.
Correct.
And speaking of that, the base on this looks just like the one on the Gladiator model.
Yes.
There as well.
So interchangeable. Very important for families with Bronco, Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Gladiator. Now you can substitute the top with the same base, which is very, very important because we have many families with multiple SUVs.
So it'll save you money, save you some time, and save you a big old hassle.
Absolutely, yes.
When people see this for the first time, their jaws drop. What kind of reaction are you getting from folks that actually buy one and start using it at home?
The biggest reaction we have from every customer is basically it's the best money they've ever spent on their Jeep, as opposing to other accessories that they have for the Jeep, which can get extremely expensive. I mean, $2,000 for a light bar.
Amazing. What kind of demand have you seen for the Top Lift Pro lately?
Oh, we're having a huge demand, especially during the COVID time. We've just are completely out, replenished, but at the same token, we spend a lot of time on quality control. Every one of these is top-notch. Our demand for quality is superb.
And I heard dealers are kind of nipping at your heels trying to get a hold of the Top Lift Pro as well.
Yeah, dealers, especially with the Bronco now, is becoming a big, big deal. We're getting dealers that want to, roll this in with the price of the new Bronco and get it out the door because it's what sells hardtops.
Right.
And a hardtop with a Top Lift Pro is a lot easier than a rag top without a Top Lift Pro. So out the door, top off in 2 minutes or less? Yeah, absolutely.
You can't beat it. What makes that open road, top down lifestyle so popular?
People just want to be outdoors, let their hair down and breathe the fresh air. Going to the beach, going to the mountains, enjoying the Blue Ridge Highway. It's all the same.
It's all about freedom, and you can get there a lot easier with Top Lift Pro. Check them out at topliftpros.com. You can check us out right after the break, because we'll be back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, if you're a frequent viewer of the show, you recognize this guy. This is Danny Agosta from Steel Rubber. Danny and I have been working on this Camaro back here. It's a 68. It's seen better days, but it's going to get even better because this car is going to go to paint here shortly and get revived. And part of that revival is products from Steel Rubber. So tell the folks what we're actually putting on this vehicle.
So we've got the door weather stripping, the side window leading edge, and the U-jam seal. We're doing some test fitting. Like you said, this is going to go to paint and body, so we're wanting to make sure all the parts that we have are right. Once it goes there, we'll use the weather stripping to help with gaps or anything like that, and then take it off, paint, and then put it back on.
Let's talk about Steel Rubber. First of all, just an overview. What's the range of parts that you make for vehicles?
Right now we offer over 100 years worth of parts, from the 19-teens to the late 2000s. We have most all makes and models that are American made, and then we're venturing into some international makes, Toyota and Nissan, and some more to come in the future.
Now, if I'm looking at my car and I've got to sort through all the different kinds of rubber that are out there for door seals and that sort of thing, it can be kind of tough to look at the profiles and that sort of thing. So how can Steel Rubber help me find the right piece that I need?
So we offer our website, which is year, make, model, and even body style specific. You just plug in what car you have, and all the parts that we have will come up, all the little bumpers, the main seals, all that stuff. And then we also offer a paperback catalog that's just for a vehicle, body style specific again. So it's just for the hardtop, it's not for the convertible. There's a few differences in the pieces. This will be just what you need. You can go out to the garage, check off what you need, and then come place an order.
And there's no other place on the planet that does that. You tell them I've got a 72 Cadillac DeVille and the convertible, I don't know if they made a convertible that year, and you guys will send me a whole catalog of everything I need.
That's absolutely right. And yeah, I don't know anyone else who does that.
Now, I've seen a lot of other products out there. A lot of people are making seals. So why not just jump on the ones that are really cheap?
Popular saying is you get what you pay for, and that's true in a lot of ways. One of the main things that we have that sets us apart is we do all of our tooling and design in-house. That means the parts that we offer are ours. And while that sounds kind of bland on the surface, that means we have full control over design and manufacturing. So we take a lot of work taking something that's the original part off the car, reverse engineering it and making a mold to make that part. And that's not easy. You got a lot of complex geometry that's on these ends. And I've got the ends here to compare our seal to the original to show kind of the difference between what our seal looks like and what something that you might get from another store looks like.
Yeah, we've been to your place and we've seen that sometimes you take the original, you want to emulate it, you want to make it work exactly the same way, but then occasionally you find something that actually improves an existing part and it's going to be better than it was brand new.
Yeah, that's always a wonderful thing when we can do that. When we can take a part, make it perform even better than original, that's always a win-win.
And with new materials, it's going to perform better than what was on this original.
Exactly. You know, a lot of people don't realize that latex, which is what the old weather stripping is made of, is a natural material, so it biodegrades. EPDM is the synthetic that people use very commonly, and it's ozone and UV resistant, so it's designed to be outside and withstand a lot of breakdown.
Let's take a look at the Steel Rubber product versus what originally came on this car 50-some years ago.
Yeah, so this is the end we just pulled off. This end goes up by the hinge right next to your rear view mirror, and you can see these are mirror images of each other. You can see that they're close. There's no mistake about that. And then something else that you might get from someone else, it is close, but when you start being real particular about the geometry, you can see that this thickness here is a lot thicker than what it is here. They do have metal underneath the hole. It's made from steel. Steel will rust and let go of the rubber. But most importantly, there's no metal right here, which the original does have. Ours as well, like the original, has the metal piece. And that part's important because that's what keeps the window separated from the door. Without it, the window's going to suck that down into the section where the window goes down.
Gotcha, so you need the metal there for sure, so you get what you pay for, like you said. Now let's talk about installation. This is something you can do yourself. Describe the process here, beginning with removing the old weather stripping.
Sure, so I was trying to get underneath one of the clips and it's just rusted, it's degrading. So sometimes if you know you have a replacement, it's easier just to rip it off. There's some pins that stayed in the door. We got to pull the pins out, make sure it's nice and clean. And then it's just these push pins that's holding it on. So You pop those into the holes and you're good to go.
And same as the factory holes.
That's right.
Next to steel rubber.
Yep. And so we did a test fit here. Everything's looking good. We didn't push the pins all the way in. We'll pull them back off. It'll go to paint and body, and then we'll do it for real.
So yeah, clearly this is a test fit, but it still looks great, and that's going to make a really tight seal when we're done.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, you can check out Steel Rubber's products for your vehicle. They'll even print you a catalog just for your car. Check them out at steelrubber.com. Well, Danny's coming back in a little while to show you some more applications for Steel Rubber's products, but when we come back, we're going to go topless once again here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. I told you we'd hear more from Fred at Top Lift Pros. Well, he's back again with a segment we get a lot of emails about. We think you'll dig it. Jeep owners, you are going to love this. I know you love the simplicity of getting out in the Jeep, throwing the top down, going topless, enjoying the weather. Well, okay, that's simplicity, but getting there is not so simple. Getting that top off is a big hassle. It's usually a two-man job, and it's usually a pain, but Top Lift Pros has solved that. How so, Fred?
So, your tops are very cumbersome. You got two freedom panels to get unload off the top, and then what we're going to do is we have the original Top Lift Pro here, and the original Top Lift Pro is now going to handle your Bronco. So your new Bronco people, this is what you're going to want as your arsenal.
It's the same Top Lift Pro that we used previously on the Jeep Wrangler.
Absolutely.
And so if you have a Wrangler and you've got yourself a Bronco,
Yep.
that's all you need.
Yep, same unit.
And we've seen the original in action. Uses your body weight. You just pull down on it. It's simple to use. There's also a motor that comes as an upgrade.
So you have an accessory, which is your Power Pro, which will attach to the original Top Lift Pro, and that will make it motorized, so you can just touch of a button, hold your drink, take the top off, and off you go.
Fantastic. Now, that works great in your home. You can break it down if you want to travel with it, but it's a little bit cumbersome.
Right.
So you've taken care of the folks that may have a vacation home where they want to use their Jeep maybe at the beach or something like that.
Right.
So what'd you bring for show and tell here?
So though the original Top Lift Pro can be broken down, put in the Jeep, we brought in now the Venture Pro. The Venture Pro, which can be broken down, you can simply fold everything up at the top, remove it, remove some parts, fold in the base, toss it in your vehicle, and away you're off. So very, very simple. It's not as heavy duty as your original Top Lift Pro for rack systems, and it's not made for the electric, but this is the way to go when you're out at the hotel.
Which, you know, in the Jeep lifestyle, you're usually traveling to Jeep events or something like that, going to meet friends, and this is the perfect thing to bring with you, especially if you're driving by yourself. Now, it's just the foot pedal there. What's it like to operate that?
It's a very, very simple system. So you're just going to raise the height according to your adjustment that you have a suspension lift combination, and then you have a lock system here. Once you raise it, you can lock it into position to hold it, to remove the hard top. But it's just a press down pedal, a little movement of the foot, and your top comes off, and you're going topless.
That 5-to-1 ratio makes it easier for anybody, even if you weigh nothing.
Absolutely.
Cool. And now the Gladiators are kind of a new thing in the Jeep world the last few years, and the top comes off of those, and it's cumbersome, 60-some pounds.
62 pounds on a Gladiator top.
So it can be done with two people.
Right.
Cumbersome.
But you don't want to crash that top. You're looking at a few $1,000s.
And so you come up with a Top Lift Pro model for that.
Yes. So same base, different top. So you can even interchange and get one for your Jeep, and you can get one for your Gladiator if you're a family of two.
All right, Fred, let's look at the Gladiator Pro here and see how it works. Obviously, you have the bed to contend with on the Gladiator, so you had to solve that problem. It's entering for the side there.
Right. So simply, you just lift, lock in place, and then you can just simply remove.
That is it, 62 pounds lifted like nothing. Now, storing the top, I've seen other devices where it's hanging from the rafters or something like that. How do we store the top once we get it?
So it's going to be just like the original Top Lift Pro. You're just going to go ahead and store in front of the vehicle, where the unit will go under the vehicle and between the two wheels, and your hard top is going to store right over the hood of your Jeep, leaving you all kinds of extra room in your garage, which is incredibly valuable real estate.
It doesn't take up any extra space. It makes taking the Jeep top off really, really easy. It makes it a one-person operation. You can get one at topliftpros.com, and also you can get it for your Bronco. That's a new hot thing. Even the dealers want this thing. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and more cool products, so do not go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Code 4 LED, take control. And by Soul Beach Cruisers, premium fat tire beach cruisers.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We're talking about vent windows. And here's one, Danny. This is from a Ford van from, we were looking at 69 to 74. Vent windows were super popular back in the old days, especially before the advent of air conditioning or the popularity of air conditioning. They were a great idea, but they always whistled. Yep. They always leaked. And that's not really a problem anymore. If you're starting to restore your vehicle, Steel Rubber has a solution. What do you have for us?
So what we have here is the replacement for the 69 to 74 Econoline vans. We have vent windows for all kinds of cars. We have over 300 vent windows. But this one in particular is special. You know, vans are getting more popular. And there was a lot of complaints about this particular one. It's a work van. I don't know if they really cared if it's sealed or not from the beginning, but we were actually able to make this part better than the original.
I was going to mention that Steel Rubber always emulates the original part. You take the original profile. If I've got something from 100 years ago, I've seen your whole library of profiles and all the different seals you make, and you emulate the original, but where you can, you improve the design because materials are newer, technologies are newer, and trial and error through the years, people are discovering new ways to make these things work. So how did Steel Rubber change the original design to a new design?
So really 99% of this is all original. This is the original seal that came out, and this is the one that we've made. And really the only difference is down here in the bottom corner. You can see that this piece is real thin, and this piece has a thicker edge on it. And what that does is it fills out the corner down on the frame. We made it just like the original, and just like the original, there was a gap there. So we were able to just fill that in with some more rubber, simple enough, but it really changed how this seal went together.
Well, I think vans from those days, back then you were using it as a work truck. Now folks are restoring them, and it's for nostalgia's sake. Right. You've spent so much time, effort, and money on a vehicle, you want to make sure it doesn't leak now.
Yeah, and the comfort of the ride is so much more important than it was. So, exactly. So wind noise, you know, leaking, you know, air conditioning and heat, all that stuff, you want it to seal right. So that's what we've got here. And a lot of times vent windows are a little intimidating to work on. You know, you have to pull them out of the door. You got to take the door panel off, pull it out of the door.
I see a rivet.
Yep, the rivet there. So, you know, there's a lot of barriers that you could run into. But really, once you get down to it, it's pretty simple. Essentially, to get it out of the door, almost all of them are the same. You got to take the door panel off, and then there's a bolt or two holding the frame in. Once you take that out, the vent window pretty much just pulls out. Depending on the type of vehicle, might need to do some wiggling, but it's really, mostly that's it. And then to get the window out itself, almost all of them have this little pivot section down here with a spring, and that's what keeps the tension on it, so it doesn't swing wide open, but it's already loose. You'll want to take off this assembly, and from experience, you'll want to keep it in order of the way it came off.
Take a photo, that's another good idea.
Yep, that's definitely a good idea because there's several washers in here. It does matter what order they go on. So we'll take that off. And then this rivet, as you can see, sometimes you have to drill out the rivet. In this case, and in most late models, you've got some Phillips head screws here. So you can take these off.
So you're not even messing with the rivet at all.
Right.
Yeah, you see those, and that automatically tells me stop. Don't work on this project. Get a pro.
Then you can rotate it out, and it's basically always a 90-degree turn, and then it comes out of the bottom here. So just pull straight out, and it's really that simple. And then the rubber is almost always held in by this track here. So it's just pressure fitted, so it just pulls out. Like the original, there's metal on the division post. The division post is the vertical piece that separates the vent window from the door glass. So these tabs come back through this frame. So they go through the frame.
And those are all the factory holes?
Yep, factory holes. They line up just with our part, right out of the box. The tabs go through, you bend them over, and then it's the perfect opportunity to replace your window channel as well.
Which brings us to another point. Steel Rubber's not just making vent windows for vans, you have a whole lot of other products as well.
Yeah, so everything for the windows, you know, vent window, door glass. In the Econolines, all of them have pop-out windows all throughout the vehicle, some of them as much as 10 per van. We've got all the pop-out seals. We've got parts for Dodge vans, Chevy vans, and even recently Astro vans. The rear doors on those, GM doesn't make them anymore. A lot of people need it, so we listened to our customers, they wanted it, and we made it for them.
Steel Rubber's making stuff for vans, for trucks, classic autos. A lot of folks doing this to their hot rods when they're restoring it, adding Steel Rubber products to it. They even do RVs and boats. You can check out their full line of products at steelrubber.com. They'll even make a catalog just for you for your specific make and model of car. Go check them out online. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Let's say we do it again next week, same time, same sandbox. And if you have a product you want to see featured on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. We'll get you here in our Masters Entertainment Group studios. From our entire crew here at the studio, so long. We'll see you next time.